Has life been hard lately? Maybe life has been hitting harder than you expected. Maybe something has not gone the way you thought it would. You wake up already tired, already feeling like you're behind. And in moments like that, the first instinct is almost always the same. You want relief. You want an easier road. You just want life to give you a break. But this difficulty is not always a bad thing. And this is the truth most men spend their lives trying to avoid. Sometimes difficulty is the road. Sometimes the thing you are calling unfair is the very thing that is building you into the person you need to be to achieve your goal. You want to make money? Then you need to be able to manage the stress and pressure that type of person endures. You want to get fit? Then you need to endure the discomfort of a clean diet and hard training sessions. That is why you cannot measure a hard life the way weak men do. Weak men look at pain and only see inconvenience. They look at pressure and only see something to escape. But a man who is becoming stronger begins to understand something deeper. There is no way around the fire if the fire is what forges you. You may not have chosen every hardship. You may not have asked for every loss, every delay, every burden. But you still get to choose what it makes of you. That is your responsibility. That is the line that separates a man who is formed by suffering from a man who is flattened by it. Hard times arrive whether you are ready or not. Pressure comes. Disappointment comes. This is the phase where you may be working hard, but seeing no results, where nothing seems to be changing. That phase breaks most people, not because they are incapable, because they are addicted to proof. But this is the moment where everything changes. Once it gets hard, people quit. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If you can just keep going past the point where most people quit, you will achieve the results most people don't achieve. Because most people want reward before discipline. They want life to reassure them every few days that their suffering is paying off. But real strength is not built that way. Real strength is built in the dark, when the room is quiet, when there is no guarantee that your effort will be seen anytime soon. That is where a man is built. He is built in private, in repetition, in quiet decisions made over and over again, while the rest of the world is looking for something easier. That is why motivation is cheap. Motivation is a spark. It comes and goes. But discipline is different. Discipline does not ask whether you feel good. It simply asks whether you are doing the thing you said you would, regardless of how you feel. That is the test. Because anybody can move when the path is smooth. Anybody can believe in themselves when the results are coming quickly. But the men who become unshakable are usually built somewhere else. They are built in the season where they are forced to keep going no matter what. That is why easy lives create soft men. A life built entirely around convenience does not produce depth. It produces fragility. When a man spends his whole life avoiding discomfort, he does not become peaceful. He becomes easily disturbed. He becomes dependent on everything being easy. And then one real storm enters his life, and he discovers he has no strength. That is the cost of worshiping comfort. Comfort can make a man feel protected, while quietly keeping him weak. It can keep him so busy seeking the easy life that he never discovers his true potential. And this type of living will only lead to regret. And that regret is heavier than pain. Because pain at least has the possibility of changing you. comfort often does the opposite. Comfort helps a man avoid finding out who he really is. It gives him enough relief to stay asleep, enough pleasure to keep him from asking whether his life has any real meaning to it. But if a man wants to pursue meaning and purpose, then it will be hard. Meaning costs more time, more pressure. Pursuing your purpose will often put you in seasons where you are tested, stripped down, and refined. But purpose and meaning also gives a man something comfort never can: self-respect. Because there is a kind of confidence that only comes from surviving what you once thought would break you. That is why some men carry a certain steadiness in their presence, a certain gravity, a quiet strength. It did not appear because life was gentle with them. It was carved into them through setbacks, through pressure, by getting back up again and again, until endurance became part of their character. That is how strength is built. And that is when you find out what has actually been built inside you. You will begin to see that pain is not always a sign to stop. Often it is proof that you are changing. Not every hard day means you are on the wrong path. Some hard days are just your character being tested. And in these moments, you have to prove who you really are. The men who build great things are rarely the men who had the easiest road. They are usually the ones who endured, the ones who kept showing up after disappointment. And this builds trust in yourself. That is the real reward. Not simply that life gets better, though oftentimes it does. The real reward is that you become someone who can be trusted under pressure, someone who does not disappear the moment life becomes hard. So, if life is hard right now, do not waste the hardship by only asking when it will end. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Ask whether this season is not just testing you, but introducing you to the man you have not yet become. Because maybe this pain is not here to destroy you. Maybe it is here to strip away everything in you that could not survive the life you say you want. Maybe this is the season that teaches you patience. Maybe this is the season where you finally let go of your bad habits. So keep going. It may be proof that something important is being asked of you. Stay with the work. Stay with the pressure. The road may be long, but it will be worth it. Because one day you will look back and realize the hardest chapters were not the ones that ruined you. They were the ones that made you into the man you always wanted to be.